This is a response video to the comparison of Stark and Zenitsu from Pei Talks Anime. Reason for fear is the first category. Zenitsu's reason is much stronger. In episode 1, we see Tanjiro's family slaughtered by a demon. We know of characters who died in the entrance exam. Zenitsu is one of the 4 people to pass the entrance exam alive. In the next episodes, we see more demons kill people. His fear is completely understandable by the time he reappears. But in Frieren, demons are killed easily up until episode 5, Stark's episode, so his fear is nowhere near as tangible as Zenitsu's. Pei conveniently skims over this. I believe it hurts his argument. The next argument is that Stark actively faces his fears while Zenitsu is reactive, falling asleep and letting his instincts take over. I disagree with one being better than the other. The sleepwalking idea is an interesting character trait that creates a powerful payoff when he finally fights awake. When facing a very personal opponent in the movie, he gains the competence to fight fully conscious. This arc that's been charged up over the entire story creates an impactful moment and resolution. At the end of the day, they both have the same arc. Zenitsu just takes longer to finish. There's a complaint that there should be a trade-off for Zenitsu having to sleepwalk to access his power. Quote, if power is a byproduct of some shortcut, it needs to come with some trade-off. End quote. Zenitsu already trained for his power. His weakness is that he can't access it while awake. His strength is that he can access it while sleepwalking. If sleepwalking is the shortcut, then his inability to fight while awake and his general cowardice is the trade-off. The fact that Pei is viewing Zenitsu sleepwalking as some kind of cheap power-up doesn't make sense. The scales are already balanced. He's cowardly and weak when he's awake. He's powerful when he's asleep. Why does he also need a drawback when he's asleep? Those are his natural skills that he trained for. This isn't the Avatar state. There are other small criticisms against the logic of his sleepwalking, but it's an anime where characters already have superhuman abilities. I don't think there needs to be an explanation for such a small detail. It's a quirk that's a unique spin on cowardice. Saying we get more character growth from Stark is ridiculous. In his first major arc, Zenitsu has the courage to protect Nezuko from Inosuke, despite knowing that she's a demon, which is what he's afraid of. He doesn't know why Tanjiro has a demon, but because he trusts Tanjiro so much, he protects it with his life. Then in Mount Naragumo, after refusing to enter, he realizes that Nezuko is with Tanjiro, so he puts his fears aside and goes in for her sake. During the fight, we learn how strong-willed he is. He could only use one form, but he perfected it. That's just episodes 11 to 17, just 7 episodes. This video was made before the movie came out, so I won't mention that. Meanwhile, in the 10 episodes I've seen of Frieren, all Stark has gotten is going from a coward who can't act to a coward who can. There better be something much better down the line to warrant this comment. Then he asks why Zenitsu can't just walk away, and says that Stark can't because he's in situations where he has to protect people. Zenitsu's desire to protect Nezuko becomes his most consistent motivation, similar to Stark. He explicitly says he entered Naragumo because of Nezuko. In his flashback during the fight, he says that he wants to meet his master's expectations because he's the only one who never gave up on him, which is another motivator. And then at the end of the fight, living up to Tanjiro's expectations is also revealed as a motivator. You can find his motivations if you look. Last, he argues that Stark doesn't grow overnight, while Zenitsu might. Most anime characters grow overnight, including Stark. That's just how arcs are written. In episode 5, he didn't want to fight the dragon. In episode 6, Frieren talks to him at night, and now he's ready to fight the dragon. It's literally overnight. Deeper into the video, you see more bias. He gushes about Stark fighting the dragon, which wasn't that impressive, in my opinion, and Stark fighting the demon that copied his master. So he can spend time breaking down the inconsistencies in sleepwalking, but not Stark versus the demon. He wins by tanking an attack and hitting her with a special move. Why didn't he tank the attack sooner? Why didn't he use a special move sooner? This fight has holes that ruin the moment if you look close enough, but Pei seems to be wearing rose-tinted goggles. Did he cover fantastic scenes from Zenitsu, like how he mastered Form 1? No. This video reads as if he made the decision first, and then searched for arguments to support it. And then for my personal arguments, Zenitsu is significantly funnier and cooler, and he belongs to a much better written story. That's why I prefer him over Stark. In conclusion, I don't think this video's arguments for what makes a good coward hold up. There's a lot of turning a blind eye to Demon Slayer's writing, and crafting arguments to favor Stark. Everyone has their personal preferences, but when analyzing a character's quality, it's best to have consistent, neutral grading standards. The trend of Frieren getting light criticism and Demon Slayer getting heavy criticism is nothing new to me, so I'm not surprised by this outcome. If you enjoy Stark more, that's cool, but when you try to argue that he's objectively superior to Zenitsu, when you try to bring down Demon Slayer to hype up Frieren, that's when I feel the need to step in. People praise Frieren like it's an industry plant.